crush, but don't drink it, okay?
Okay.
Orange lovers have a crush on us.
Don't drink it.
I won't.
It's our 100% natural flavors that do it. We're so orangey, we're hard to resist.
We're so irresistible, you can't keep a bottle full.
Are you drinking
Orange
it?
lovers have a crush on us. Ooh.
Hey, where's my crush?
Eat evaporated.
Orange lovers have a crush on us.
Project Alert, a drug education prevention 24-hour crisis hotline in Shasta and Siskiyou counties. This vital community program is for students and their parents who need help, information, or find themselves in a crisis situation. Counselors are on call 24 hours a day, ready to help you. In Reading, call 244-1232. In Wairika, call 842-4133 and ask for a Project Alert volunteer. All information is kept confidential. Remember, someone does care.
Shop the depot end of the downtown Reading Mall. Fun, food, and fashion for everyone. First stop, the Fashion Depot. Free junior clothing for guys and gals. Take the younger crowd to the Fashion Depot, too, for newborn to size 6X. Make your next stop the Depot Diner for tasty breakfasts and lunches. And Jewelry Junction has a large assortment of gold chains, Black Hills Gold, fashion jewelry, and more. Shoppers of all ages will enjoy a trip to the Depot end. That's the north end of the downtown Reading Mall.
Whether you're coming or going, you'll find Clear Creek Deli and Clear Creek Grocery a winning combination right here on South Highway 99, Reading.
KRCR TV, Channel 7R, Reading.
Here's what's coming up on the first edition of 7R News. An arsonist sets at least 10 fires in Tehama County. A Shasta County company is going to have to clean up a polluted creek. Ice wars heat up in Reading. We'll have details to these and other stories, plus the latest in sports and weather, coming up next on 7R News.
This is the first edition of 7R News for Wednesday, July 8th.
Good evening, everybody. Here's what's happening on this Wednesday evening. California Department of Forestry fire investigators are hoping to make an arrest, catch the person who started at least 4 of 10 arson fires in Tehama County yesterday. Well, those fires are all out tonight, but investigators are still trying to find the link in 6 of those fires. They believe one person touched off 4. The first fire started about noon, the last one just after midnight. At one point, fire crews were trying to contain 12 fires simultaneously.
Incendiary device was used on each of these fires. They were very similar, the same type of device, same thing used there. And again, the distance off of the road, the person had to leave, get out of his vehicle and walk over the ground at a certain distance. And they were also set in such a pattern that they were really set to do some damage, just to set a wildfire, which is kind of unusual. Many arsonists or incendiarists kind of are set nuisance fires, not to cause a large disastrous fire. But these fires yesterday were all really intent to go somewhere. Fortunately, they didn't.
What you're saying then is the person who set them knew what he was doing.
Yes, it definitely appears that way.
About 25% of the wildland fires in Tehama County each year are arson set, and fire officials hope to get help from residents to catch those who set the fires.
If there's somebody setting along the road or a strange vehicle in the area, just make a note of the license plate number or some kind of a description of the car or the person that might be in there if it's something that rings a bell. And later on, if you come by the same area and you happen to notice a fire had occurred there, let us know about it, and I'm sure that would give us some leading information.
The largest fire yesterday was off Highway 36 east of Red Bluff. That was about 75 acres. But even though none of those deliberate fires were large, it cost the CDF and combined fire companies about $100,000 of taxpayers' money to put them out. A Central Valley man was arrested today in connection with a shooting north of Wairika. 25-year-old Daniel Garrett was arrested by Siskiyou County Sheriff's deputies after 33-year-old Ralph Mills of Newland was shot twice on Interstate 5. Garrett reportedly picked Mills up near Redding as a hitchhiker. Mills is in stable condition with 2 wounds to the head and the neck. A couple on their honeymoon reportedly witnessed the shooting, and Garrett was arrested in a Wairika auto shop buying spray paint. The incident occurred about 1:30 this afternoon, 10 miles north of Wairika.
A van carrying 53 drums of corrosive was stopped on Interstate 5 in northern Shasta County this afternoon after police noticed one of the drums was leaking. The corrosive, called sodium-2, is harmful to the skin. Caltrans crews were called out to seal that leaking drum, then send the van on its way to Washington State. Those San Jose city workers are still on strike tonight, and there is simply no end in sight. Last night, the strikers turned down the city's latest offer. Reporter Robert Handa tells us what some mail workers that they are not honoring the picket lines because they feel the walkout is not in their best interests.
In their strike against the city of San Jose for so-called pay discrimination against women workers, a big weapon for the union has been their ability to shut down or severely cripple many of the city's services. Although many libraries and park programs were closed, the union suffered a major disappointment when the San Jose airport remained fully operational. The 18 refuelers chose not to honor the strike. But what may be more important, the refuelers, mostly men, say the problem is one for just the women union members to worry about.
It has nothing to do with us. That has nothing to do with our negotiations. That's case study, and that won't affect our pay at all.
The people I know are trying to get out of the union. They don't feel it's worth it.
Dissension among the ranks is something all union leaders fear. It could become significant here, where the issue involves the entire union, but doesn't benefit all the members. For ABC News, Robert Honda, San Jose, California.
Anderson residents are going to be paying more for municipal services, in some cases immediately. The City Council approved increases in fees last night, including a 35% hike in sewer rates. Some of the fees were raised by resolution. Those will go into effect immediately. Those raised under ordinances will take approximately 6 weeks to take effect. And virtually all fees for filing with the planning department were raised, as were development fees and storm drains and capital improvements.
Several ice-producing and distributing companies have popped up in the Redding area in the past few years, and it's led to some very stiff competition. Mike Mangus reports.
The Redding area's growing population and the usual heat in the summer make it a good place to sell ice. The temperatures have been a bit cool lately, but the competition among 4 ice companies in Redding and Anderson remains hot. This is the longest-running and largest ice plant in Redding, River City Ice, formerly Union Ice. Another ice maker and distributor is Hometown Ice, north of Redding. There's another Redding ice company, North State Ice, and one in Anderson, Shasta Ice. The 4 companies are trying to carve out profits in the Redding market. One of the River City Ice owners, Ryan Ross, says he doesn't see how 4 companies can make it.
Well, I'd say we got a pretty strong ice war going right now. There's 4 ice companies in the area. We're all competing like crazy. There's a lot of price cutting going, and it's pretty tight. It really is pretty tight. 4th of July weekend, it's hard for us all to keep up, but all the other times, you know, there's just not enough business, I don't feel, to keep us all going. The company has a bit of an advantage in that we deal in institutional frozen food, so that goes 12 months out of the year, and I think that that's pretty much our balancing factor, because if we did have to go on the ice all year round, we'd be in trouble.
Hometown Ice, as well as the others, had a busy 4th of July weekend, but now, unless temperatures get well above 100 degrees and stay there, employee Greg Simpson feels things will slow down. Simpson says there has been price cutting, and that led to Hometown losing a major supermarket account to a competitor.
Right now there's a lot of ice companies and all the competition that's going on. We slowed down a little bit because we're losing some accounts because underpriced other companies, but we're doing pretty good.
So the next time you go for a bag of ice, it might be only frozen water to you, but it's cold, hard cash to each of the 4 ice companies.
Mike Mangus, 7R News, Shasta County.
Still to come on 7R News, Anderson City workers will get a pay raise, another drop in the price of gold, and a multi-million-dollar lawsuit is filed against a movie blockbuster.
Excuse me.
Huh?
I know my soft drinks, and I can be very helpful. Tell me about yourself.
Oh, I'm an active person. I like a lift now and then.
Most people go right for your colas or your clear drinks, but I'm going to recommend a juicy soft drink. Squirt. Got just a squeeze of squirt fruit juice right in it. Picks you up. Ice cold, too.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. Hello? I said thank you. Goodbye.
Try Squirt, the juicy one.
Bayonne Boat Corporation, your quality custom designer at the Pine Grove off-ramp on I-5, has just secured the Multi-Craft 18, a versatile, easy-to-launch, fun-to-accelerate family boat. The beauty is it sleeps 4, has amazing stability, works beautifully as a fishing boat. The tri-hull design gives convenience and maneuverability, and yours for as little as $69.95 complete. Buy your new Multi-Craft 18 at Bayonne Boat Corporation at the Pine Grove exit and I-5, either side of the freeway.
Sure, you've tinkered with your car making minor adjustments, but what will you do when you've got transmission problems? Take it to the experts at Central Transmission Rebuilders. Lou and Ed Milligan have 40 years experience between them, and they'll give one-day service in most cases, with all transmission work guaranteed. Take advantage now of their Gas Saver Service Special, only $18.95. They also repair truck and antique car transmissions. The parts are in stock. Call for an appointment today. Central Transmission Rebuilders, 3263 Pacelli Lane in Reading.
Mr. Earl Taylor, President of Security Funding.
Why earn less with passbook accounts, T-bills, or CDs? Prudent investors lock in higher returns with well-secured investment trust deeds at Security Funding. Our clients are receiving 19 to 21% return on their investment dollars. Call for a brochure or information on how we can assist you, or stop by and meet with one of our friendly staff.
State water engineers are ordering a Shasta County company to clean up a creek that was polluted by dust materials. Carissa Howland has a report.
The problem originated at Calavera Cement Company in Mountain Gate, where a new coal system was started up 2 months ago. The resulting coal dust has been finding its way into an unnamed tributary of Stillwater Creek.
Because of the cleanup and so forth that we've had to encounter in the coal system, we've had to wash the building down several times during that period. And I believe that's coal dust has gotten into the storm drains, and it's just something that we'll have to remedy through some settling ponds or whatever fashion that we can work out with these folks.
State water quality engineer Mike Drennan was at the site today to see for himself. He says there is no danger to aquatic life in the creek, but he wants Calaveras to clean up the mess this summer.
Cleanup measures that we will request be taken is to remove the settled material that has dropped out in a calm area of the stream just downstream of the plant, and we want that work to be done prior to the rainy season such that it's not discharged any further downstream.
State officials learned about the coal dust pollution problem through citizen complaints. Carissa Howland, 7R News, Mountain Gate.
Employees of the city of Anderson will get raises in their next checks, including fringe benefits for this year and next. Anderson Police will see about an 18% hike, Teamsters 12.7%, other employees also 12.7%. Those figures were agreed to by the Anderson City Council. Dana?
The valuation of building permits in the city of Reading last month was double the same month last year. Over $4 million worth of construction activity took place with a 42-unit apartment complex valued in excess of $1 million. Figures in Reading for the year to date are showing valuation is up $2 million overall above last year. A former treasurer of the Worldwide Church of God filed a $100 million lawsuit today, claiming the makers of the smash movie hit Raiders of the Lost Ark stole the script. The suit was filed in Los Angeles by Stanley Rader, archaeologist Robert Kuhn, and promoter Henry Cornwall. They claim Kuhn wrote a copyrighted movie treatment screenplay and unpublished novel called Ark that the movie makers illegally used as the basis for Raiders of the Lost Ark. The movie has grossed $50 million in its first month. Rader, who resigned earlier this year as treasurer of Herbert Armstrong's Worldwide Church of God, is claiming he was developing his own movie version of Coon's work. He says he submitted the project to a talent agency which represents the director of the film, Steven Spielberg. It also once represented Ark producer George Lucas. Lucas and Spielberg, along with Paramount Pictures and Random House, are named in the suit. Says a lawyer for Lucas, quote, "The charges are ridiculous." He says people always come forward to claim a share of a successful movie. Said the lawyer, quoting him again, "As far as I'm concerned, they're insects coming out of the woodwork."
The Chancellor of California State Colleges and University has announced his resignation by retirement. Dr. Glenn Dumke says that he's planning to retire May 15th, that's next year, on his 65th birthday, but he is going to stay longer if needed. Dumke, who has held that post for 20 years, says he has received many offers from government and business and hopes to be able to take advantage of some of them. In tonight's Greengrocer report, Joe Carcione shows us Armenian cucumbers and explains why its odd shape is hard to find in your produce section.
You may never get to see the Armenian cucumber, let alone buy it, and that's too bad because, folks, what I have in my hands that grows in so many different shapes is just about the best cucumber that grows in the world. I want to qualify that. As far as I'm concerned, I'd have to say it is the best cucumber in the world. And the reason that you're not going to see it at your market is simply because the fact it does grow in such different shapes that you cannot pack it and you cannot market, and that's too bad because I'll tell you something, folks, if you're looking for a cucumber that's crispy and crunchy, if you're looking for a cucumber that's solid, there's no question in the world that you're never, ever going to be able to beat the Armenian cucumber because I'll tell you something, folks, listen to this. This is not a potato chip. This is a fresh slice of cucumber. It's just absolutely out of this world. Now, you may not be able to buy it, but I know you can go out and buy the seeds. And buy the seeds and plant this cucumber for yourself, and you'll have something completely out of this world. And not only that, they tell me that the Armenian cucumber makes the best pickles in the world. Joe Carcione, your greengrocer, with your tip for the day.
Profit takers and bargain hunters battled each other to a standstill on Wall Street today in reaction to most major banks moving prime interest rates to 20.5%. The closing Dow Jones Industrials lost 0.67 to 953.48 on moderately active trading of 46 million shares. Declines led advances by 93 issues. Looking here at some of our local stocks, the dollar rode to new levels on the crest of high U.S. interest rates and political stability today, while gold headed below the $400 barrier despite a rally in New York, where dealers say it is only time before gold drops to $350. New York gold lost $2 to close at $403.50. However, silver showed some signs of good recovery, jumping 16 cents to $8.66.
Coming up next on 7R News, Jenny Chestnut will be here with the weather outlook for Thursday, and high temperatures are broiling the Big Apple. That's next.
Give me a mountain and nothing to do. Give me the sunshine, give me your dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and smooth, refreshing mountain dew. Yeah, give me a river, give me a dew. Give me my good friends, give me a dew. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew.
On, off, up, down, ooh, Subaru. On, off, up, down, more, Subaru.
Subaru gives you low base sticker price, front-wheel drive, style, comfort. More stability and traction with on-demand four-wheel drive and dual-range transmission. The exciting hill holder clutch prevents slipping backward when stopping on hills. And you get top service and parts availability from your Subaru dealer.
Good advice. It's Kids Cameras. A good price.
Come to Kids Cameras for everything you need for great picture taking, like the Minolta XGM, a real buy at only $239.79, and a zoom lens from Rokina for $149.95. The KidStar Zoom is a low $179.95. Shop Kids Cameras. It makes sense.
It's Kids Cameras. It makes sense.
No telephone system is any better than the company behind it. That's why for over 40 years, Executone has built its reputation on dependability. Whether your business is large or small, Executone can revolutionize your communication medium, the telephone, and you save by owning your own phones. For system planning or information, call the other telephone company, Executone of Reddick. Count on them to be there tomorrow.
If you think it's hot in this part of the country, be thankful that you don't live in New York. While Mother Nature was dumping snow in parts of eastern Oregon and Montana, a heat wave broiled New Yorkers for the first time this summer. The mercury edged into the 90s for the second day in a row. Now, that may not sound too hot, but it was combined with uncomfortable humidity. Thousands of New Yorkers went to the beaches to cool off under their umbrellas and in the surf. High temperatures were reported in other parts of the nation as well, but at the Big Apple, the 3.5 million who used the subways had to contend with temperatures almost 10 degrees hotter than below than on top of the ground outside. Northeast weather forecasters are predicting more of the same, including our own Jenny Chestnut, who is here with us now to take a look at the weather throughout the country and then get into our own area, which wasn't too cool altogether.
It was very nice, though, very mild. And good news, tomorrow is supposed to remain slightly cool, even a few degrees cooler than today.
And we could be up in the 110, 115 degree range.
And our humidity is just great, too. I think right now it's about 17%. Very, very bearable at this point. In the national picture, as Larry mentioned, it's very hot back east. A lot of variety in the weather picture this evening. In the 90s in southern New England and Providence, Rhode Island, today was 99 degrees. Down on into Florida, more thunderstorm activity and a little bit in Louisiana, too. And in the streets of Laredo today, it was very, very damp. 7 inches of rain overnight from the thunderstorms there. Up in the Dakotas, more thunderstorms, eastern Dakotas, and Yellowstone, Montana this morning was only 26 degrees. 10 inches of snow overnight near Glacier Park. And as we head over into Idaho, in the mountains there, 21 degrees, very cold. Fairly mild. Oregon and Washington, eastern Oregon did get a little snow too. Crescent City today was 56 degrees at about 2 p.m. I presume it warmed up a few degrees, but very nice over in Crescent City. Mild throughout the North State today. The highest temperature we got in today was 103 in Chico. 83 in San Francisco area, 97 in the San Jose area, and down in Needles, though, 103. In Honolulu, tomorrow their high is supposed to be around 90 degrees. In the satellite picture this afternoon, nice and clear throughout the whole state. We do see a little bit of clouds off the southern end of the state, but these are just low clouds, not causing any problem at all. But as we look southeast of us, we see a lot of thunderstorm activity. Utah, Nevada, New Mexico, they picked up a little bit of moisture from this tropical storm off of Baja. And this high pressure area is coming in rapidly towards our coast, and it will let in tomorrow sometime this storm front here, which should bring just a little bit of scattered clouds Mount Shasta northward tomorrow, and they'll keep our temperatures down just a few degrees. It will start building a little bit more the next few days. This system here should pass us right by when high pressure begins to build just a little bit. So for the forecast, here in the valley, look for fair and mild weather through Friday to near 103 in the southern end of the valley, with some light winds tomorrow. And in the mountains, you can expect more fair weather through Friday, a little bit cooler, though, around Friday. And at the coast, sunny days and clear nights through Friday, windy afternoons and evenings, and letting up a little bit in the mornings. The high tomorrow and Friday should be around 60 to 65 degrees. So that's good.